What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here. In this video, we're going to talk about flawless blocking. You know, Mortal Kombat 11 gives you a ton of universal tools that you can use from one character to the next. But the single most powerful tool the game gives you is the ability to flawless block. In this video, we're going to talk about all things flawless blocking, why it's good, how to do it, and how to apply it in multiple situations that you're going to encounter in the game as you're going through casual play, combat league, or even a tournament. Alright, so before we begin, if you like this video, please share it. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to DashFight to stay up to date on game guides, character guides, and all things FGC. With that being said, let's jump in. Alright, so let's start off by talking about exactly what a flawless block is, how to pull it off, and why it's so powerful in Mortal Kombat 11. So a flawless block is essentially a parry that you can do by tapping block right as a move is making contact with you, either right as it makes contact or within a 3-frame window of it making contact. So while there's a little bit of leeway there, you don't have to be exactly perfect on it. It is still a smaller window, so you do want to be somewhat precise when trying to pull this off. After pulling off a successful flawless block, you're able to input an up 2 for a launcher or an up 3 for a quick get off me move. So let's demonstrate this here. We'll have Scorpion do a quick can string, and there's flawless block by tapping block. There's the up 2 launcher, and there's the up 3 follow up. So besides that, in some instances, you'll also be able to gain a string follow up, which we're going to demonstrate later on in this video. But I want to briefly touch on, before we move on, why flawless block is so powerful in Mortal Kombat 11. What separates it from other type of parry moves in other fighting games? And that's really what makes it so abusable. See, this oftentimes gets compared to like a parry from Third Strike. However, that requires you to tap forward as the opponent is doing an attack, which means if you mistime it, you're going to get punished because you're tapping forward toward the opponent. Other games have forms of parries where it has its own animation. So when you miss it, you go into a whiff animation and you're going to get punished. See, Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't have any of that. So I'm going to attempt to try to flawless block here. You see, when I mistime this, I just block the attack. There's no risk here. And then when I time it right, I get the flawless block. So there's no risk for timing this wrong. You're not going to whiff a parry animation. You're not going to tap forward and get hit by an attack for mistiming it. If you mistime it, you block the attack. No risk, no punishment. If you time it right, you get the flawless block and you get the follow-up. And this is what separates it from other games that have this feature and what makes it so abusable in Mortal Kombat 11. It is literally reward without the risk. Okay, so now that we know how to flawless block and why it's so strong, let's take a look at a few places where we can apply it. One of the easiest and most practical applications of flawless blocking is in the middle of canned strings. So Mortal Kombat 11 has several strings where between one hit and its follow-up, there is what's called a flawless block gap, which basically means there's enough time before the follow-up makes contact to release block without getting hit, and then quickly tapping block again as the next attack makes contact to give you a flawless block. So we're going to take a look at a couple of examples here. First, we're going to record Gearus' forward 2-1-2 string here. Now this string is a launcher, so it's going to give him a pop-up, so it's a very powerful string. And when you block it, it's only -6 on block, so it's completely safe, giving him a risk-free launcher. However, between the second and third hit, there's enough time to release block and then tap it again, flawless blocking the third hit, giving you a launcher and a full combo punish. This gives you an option against a safe on block string that gives Gearus a pop-up for a full combo, and instead of being completely safe on block with no risk, now there's some risks there and you're able to get a full combo punish. Flawless blocking also can change the frame data on certain attacks. So Sometimes you flawless block an attack and its negative frames do not change, and all you're going to get is your up 2 or up 3 punish. However, in some instances, the frame data can change pretty drastically. Take Jade's back 3-4, 3-4 string. Now, it's +5 on block, which is going to give her a follow-up. However, by flawless blocking it, it goes from +5 to -10. Not only would you now get your up 2 or up 3 punish, you actually have enough time now to get a full combo punish with a full string into whatever combo option you want. And this is good because up 2 and up 3 cost both 1 bar of offensive and 1 bar of defensive resource. So it's quite resource intensive. Without having to use the up 2 or up 3, if you want to use an offensive bar for a bigger combo, that's obviously your option. However, you don't have to do so. You can choose to use a resource or not to use a resource at all and go for a smaller combo and just get a lesser punish. Either way, the option is always there to punish with less resources than it would take with an up 2 or up 3 or no resources at all. And this is possible not just in canned strings like we saw with Jade here. This is possible in general. Certain attacks in this game will have their frame data changed by flawless blocking, giving you a little more of a punish that's less resource intensive than the up 2 or up 3. One of the best areas to apply flawless blocking is in the form of one of the more frustrating aspects in the game, trying to stop somebody from jumping at you. So you're trying to play neutral and you're trying to bait a jump in, and the opponent jumps, you go to stick out your jab or you go to stick out your down 2. But because the jump in has so big of a collision and they're pretty fast in this game, you're not able to get your anti-air attack out and active in time, and you get hit and you get comboed. Well, flawless blocking really helps in this area here. So I'm going to record Scorpion doing a jump kick here, and then I'm going to have him guard to see if he can recover in time after landing from the jump kick. And you see he cannot. You are able to flawless block the jump in and then get your up 2 out before he can land, recover, and block your follow-up attack. Now, unlike when you're trying to time an anti-air attack and are wrong on the timing, you just mistime it or can't get it out in time and get hit and punished, mistiming a flawless block here still has you block the attack. So even if your opponent changes the timing of their jump in, you'll still at least always block it. So it's a lot less risk because if you get the flawless block, you're going to get the launcher. And if you mistime it or they change their timing up, you're still at least always going to block the attack and are always going to keep yourself safe from being comboed. Now, some people might ask, well, what about characters like Scorpion that can do a jump in and then do an airborne attack? Will the flawless block still be able to work? Absolutely. So here we're going to record Scorpion doing a jump kick and then going right to a teleport. So flawless blocking, you see if I do a regular block, the teleport still comes out. But flawless blocking removes the ability to special cancel. So because he now can't even get the teleport out, the flawless block into the up 2 is still guaranteed. He's not able to get his airborne attack off to try to have my follow-up off the flawless block miss. The game does not allow you to special cancel off of an airborne attack once flawless block, guaranteeing the punish. And really, when you have characters that have airborne moves, this is really helpful because a lot of times they'll jump and not even do an airborne attack as far as a punch or a kick. They'll cancel immediately to something like a teleport, something that will avoid your anti-air attempt. So if I try to do a jab here as Scorpion does a jump teleport, I'm going to get hit. If I try to do a down 2, I'm going to get hit. But by trying to flawless block, if he had done a jump kick, I would get the flawless block. But because he didn't do the jump kick, I'm still blocking. So even when he does his teleport or whatever other airborne attack another opponent's going to do, you're still always going to block it. This allows you to help to hunt the anti-air while keeping yourself safe from being comboed if you mistime something or if they cancel into an airborne attack instead of doing a jump in. And this is just one of the most consistent strategies that you can use to deal with people who just like to use a lot of jumping, a lot of jumps into airborne specials to kind of mix their timing up and change up the pace of the match. All right, so one of the most overpowering things about flawless block is the fact that the most obvious counter to it, just throw them, is still pretty risky because of something known as the flawless block option select, or flawless block OS for short. So basically in this game, unless there's an overhead attack, everything else not an overhead can be guarded from crouch block. And because overheads are almost non-existent in this game, 99% of the time, you don't have to deal with that. So a lot of times you can buffer down plus block to buffer the flawless block attempt against the low or the mid. And this also puts you in crouch, which then, because you're in crouch, you can quickly release block and stand up. And releasing block very quickly allows you to simultaneously hunt the flawless block for the mid or low, but release block fast enough to go under the throw, stand up and punish it, because throws have quite a bit of recovery. So to demonstrate this, we're going to record Raiden doing his back 1-2, his staple mid. And if you look at my commands, I'm going to flawless block it by tapping down plus block, because I just want to do something to put me in crouch to use the flawless block OS. So you see down plus block, and I buffered the flawless block, got it, and up to and he was doing a mid. So if he says, okay, I'm going to come in and do a mid, you're able to get the flawless block. And if he says, okay, you want to buffer the flawless block, I'm going to come in and throw you, we'll now record Raiden doing a throw. And if you notice my commands, I'm going to be doing down plus block to avoid it to start it. So watch here, down plus block to avoid it, but because I only had to tap block for an instant to buffer the flawless block attempt, I was still able to release it, micro crouch the throw, stand up, and get the full punish. This is the flawless block OS. This is why when you're playing somebody in Combat League or whoever who's a good opponent, and you're wondering, why is he always going under my throws? And then if I go to do something else, how is he still either crouch blocking it or flawless blocking it? And this is how. There are situations in this game that are designed to be a mix-up situation. For example, let's take Raiden here. And a situation here where, let's say he has his staff slam. When he's charged up, it's safe on block, -5 with pushback. But if you say, I'm going to guard the cancel into the staff slam, he can complete the string with a throw, with his teleport into a throw. And this is designed to be a mix-up. You must make a decision. Do you want to duck under the throw and punish and risk being hit by the mid? Or are you going to respect the mid and get hit by the throw? However, if you record these options and then play them back randomly, you'll notice even though not knowing which option is coming out, you can still counter. So there's the staff slam. There's another staff slam. And then even when he goes for the throw, you're still able to go under it and punish it. And because it was set to random hidden, there's no way to know which option he was doing. You're literally doing an option select, which is going to counter all the options. And even if you were to equip his low staff, because you're doing this in crouch block, you're still able to block that and punish it. This is supposed to be a mix-up. This is supposed to be a situation in which you must make a decision, but you counter all the options with the flawless block OS. And just so you can see, if you set him to stay in crouch block, he's not supposed to be able to crouch it from crouch block, but you're still able to quickly buffer and get the flawless block and avoid the throw. This is what makes it so powerful. One of the most obvious counters for it doesn't really counter it. And this is also why overheads are so powerful in this game, because characters like Sub-Zero, for example, that have a great overhead, they pretty much negate this and force you to block them straight up and just play honest defense, which is what makes characters like that so good in the game. In conclusion, flawless block is one of the most devastating tools in the entire game, if not the most powerful tool in the entire game. And it's always present, and not just in the situations that we covered, but pretty much in every possible situation. Even after getting hit, you can still flawless block. Like something like this is plus 17. Yet even if I follow up with a 6-frame attack, you're able to flawless block and punish me. Even if I knock you down and go to follow up, you're still able to flawless block even while getting up. So even if I time my meaty properly and you can't get any type of attack out, you're still always able to flawless block. It's there in every aspect of the game. It is the single most powerful tool in the game, present at all times, in all situations. And a lot of times, this is one of the big things that separates the beginner from the intermediate player and the intermediate player to the pro player. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Once again, give a like to this video. Don't forget to subscribe to DashFight and stay tuned for more character guides, more guides in general, and all things FGC.